Welcome to today's special of body work. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Over the past couple of days, I've been going to town on bodywork stuff. I've got our second quarter panel smoothed, molded, ready to go, ready for primer again, so that way we can get some paint on this thing. I've got all the holes welded shut in the doors, primered inside and out. Fiberglass filler laid on them, so those need to be smoothed out. I was gonna try to do daily videos in December, and it's not gonna happen with bodywork. There's just not enough stuff that happens to justify doing it with how long bodywork takes. And we're not gonna rush bodywork. With everything we've been doing, I've installed more heaters in the shop. I've got one here, I've got another one back there, and that has actually been helping things cure so much on the car right now to try to progress this as quickly as we can, and efficiently, and effectively, and properly. I would like to get the Subaru painted this weekend, which I think we can do. This quarter panel, for the most part, is ready to go. We've got our transition done here from the C-pillar to the wide body, the smoothing done up here for the sill, and then going down through the door. All of that is done. Before we can paint any of this, we need to kind of prep this area a bit more because we are going to paint the door jambs. I guess technically I would only have to repaint that portion of the door jamb, but I don't know how to blend paint well, so we'll probably just repaint this entire door jamb area because we're gonna paint the car with the doors on this time. So with the doors, I do need to paint the inside of the doors first before we go to paint the outside of the car. So we have to paint the door jamb, paint the insides of the door, bolt the doors on, get everything where it needs to be, and then we can prep the entire outside of the car to just paint the outside of the car altogether, because the paint is going to look a lot more transparent, not transparent, but a lot cleaner with everything bolted on. We're gonna do the same thing with actually I don't know if I'll paint it with the trunk on here. We're not gonna paint it with the trunk on here because I'm gonna have to do all up in these areas. So we'll paint the trunk separate. I'm not worried about that right this second though. The main thing I wanna get painted is the physical body of the car to get this thing completely blue again with our wide body on here. So where we need to start with today is smoothing out the doors, fixing any other low spots, which I did just notice one more right here. I can feel it. Flip these things over, get them painted. We'll prep the inside. We're gonna have to reprimer these. I want to reprimer these by the end of the day. That way the primer can cure overnight, so we can flip these over, prep the inside of the doors, paint the inside of the doors too. So there's a lot of sanding ahead. So let's just get to sanding.
Start it up.
We are sanded on the doors. It took me a day per door to get these things perfectly straight. I don't want to talk about it, okay? I have been questioning the entire time why I've been spending so much time on bodywork, and I want this to be perfect. Like, I'm doing it now. I might as well do it right, do it 100%. So these are perfectly straight, perfectly smooth, blocked out, ready for primer. Both doors. The other door's over there chilling on the ground. So we're gonna get both of these back in a new coat of epoxy primer by the end of the day. But before we can do that, we have a little bit of a corner to sand on the trunk. Get this corner back in epoxy primer because I want to paint the inside of the trunk, inside of the doors together, like World Rally Blue. So that'll be World Rally Blue on the inside. Both of the doors will be World Rally Blue. This will be primer. And I want to get this back in primer today. So we need to actually wet sand the entire quarter panels back here, which is it actually shouldn't be too bad that I'm wet sanding it. If I was dry sanding it, it would kind of suck. There are a couple defects we need to fix, like right up here. We had to do a little bit of body work and there's a little bit of waviness up here, so we'll probably do a little bit of glazing putty along this edge here on both sides because we had to get the trunk fitment a little bit better than where it was, which is not a big deal. Defects corrected on these quarter panels. We're gonna completely wet sand them, get everything masked, get these re-epoxy primed today, get the doors re-epoxy primed today, we'll let them cure under the heat lamps tomorrow, or tonight, and then tomorrow we'll get the inside of the door painted World Rally Blue. Back on, oh no, we're gonna have to paint the inside of the door World Rally Blue and then paint the door jambs again World Rally Blue. So there's just so much body work, but we're gonna do this in incremental steps. So I'm gonna go fill up a bucket full of hot water and we're gonna get to wet sanding this quarter panel here and get this one done first. This one's gonna suck because I already know the epoxy primer, since it cured kind of glossy, is going to want to gum up, hence why we are going to wet sand it. If we were to dry sand it, it would just eat through sandpaper.
I skipped all the shit crap. Car's masked, everything is sand, everything is cleaned, wax, and grease remover. We got heater on high, that one's off until we're done spraying. Everything is good to go. I decided to mask it like this, mainly so I could feather everything out to try to work it in, because we still have to sand all of this to prep for color. So I'm not worried about a little bit of overspray right here, because we're gonna blend that blue and whatnot. I kind of feathered it out to where I needed it to be. Same thing going up, same thing going up right here. I'm probably gonna scoot this over a little bit more to give me a little bit more room right here. I wanted to keep the doors and everything back here because that's primarily where all the heat is right now. So let's grab our gun and get to spraying. 3 coats of epoxy primer, we should be solid. 15 minutes, in coat 2.
It is the next morning. Everything seems to have cured up very nicely. These heaters make such a difference. I can just put this on a 6-hour timer once I leave. So after 6 hours, it'll shut off. So it's just been curing up these doors. They came out awesome. Everything is the nice matte finish that it's supposed to be. Everything in here looks great. There's a little bit of roughness right up in here, and you can see a little bit of contour mapping, but once we sand that out with a 600 grit before we paint, should be fine. Same thing on the doors. We got a little bit of contour mapping. You can see it here, here, here. If you were just to spray primer and then spray your other paints, you will see that. If you go to sand it out after you spray primer like we do, typically you're not gonna see it at all. So this, I wanna give this a little bit longer to cure. I really wanna flip these over and start prepping the other side so we can start spraying them World Rally Blue. We gotta wait. Same thing with these. I really wanna try to start sanding these down, but there's some like grittiness in here. Like I said, we're sanding everything down up to 600 grit anyways, so I am not stressing it, but seeing everything come out like this where you're not looking at body filler everywhere looks great. This door jamb looks beautiful, looks factory. Couldn't be happier with the way that these panels have come out. We need to sand all of this in here to prep it to spray World Rally Blue again, and then after that we should be pretty good. I might just try to blend it, to be honest, because I don't really see a need to repaint all the way up there, so we might just try to blend it. I'm not entirely sure how I want to do this quite yet, but we'll figure that out. So with this done, I'm pretty stoked. I'm just waiting now. All I can do is wait until this cures. So I guess I'll give it a couple hours to let it bake a little bit longer, and then we can go from there. So we're fast forwarding just a little bit. I've got all of the whole car for what we need to paint masked off and ready to go. Everything's cleaned, everything's been scuffed. I'm gonna try blending paint. It'll be my first time trying it, so I don't think it'll come out perfect, but it's in a spot that you'll never see. And I think it's good practice for me, so I'm gonna give it a try. Right now, we're just painting the door jambs, the inside of the doors, and the inside of the trunk, because I don't want to paint the exterior of the car until I get the doors on there, because ideally, I want to be able to paint the car with the doors on at the same time. I think that'll just give it a more uniform finish for the metallic when we go to paint it. I was gonna paint it with the trunk on there also, but I think that might just be a little bit too much for me. So I feel like having the doors on there is gonna be like a nice sweet spot for me to get some practice. So head cam's on, everything's cleaned. Our first thing of paint is mixed with World Rally Blue. You've got an undercoat and the top coat. The undercoat is this like interesting grayish color. The top coat's gonna be World Rally Blue. Since we've painted last, I have a dedicated gun for color. I actually really like this. This is the Luma 3. And then I bought another Luma 3 for clear coat specifically. So I'm actually really curious to see how these guns do for clear coat. I know with the color, I was super happy with it. It was very uniform, it was very crisp, it was very clean. So let's go ahead and get to spraying.
I think I just want to do 2 coats of the gray. We'll just do 2. We're gonna mix our blue up. Now we get to make the Witch's Brew, which is my favorite. If you guys haven't seen the Witch's Brew, dude, you're gonna love it. World Rally Blue looks so freaking good. Oh, oh. Best color ever. We're gonna do 11. Oh my god, World Rally Blue looks so fucking good. Oh, oh, it's the Witch's Brew. Oh. Okay, we need a new cap. Alright, so this is ready to go. We're gonna have to set up our clear gun because I have not set that up yet. But what time is it? So I gotta, like 15 minutes from now. 5:45, we'll do our first thing of blue. So I'll see you guys here in a minute. First coat of blue. What the fuck? Oh, that's way better, man. I gotta open the fucking door for a minute. Jesus! That went way better than the base coat. That blue came out like real nice. I need to open this for a second to let somebody fucking get out. We're gonna do 2 more coats of blue. We'll probably just use all the blue till it runs out, to be completely honest. This is a lot. Clear coat time. I am going to empty our water traps though, just in case. Honestly, not much in there. Still good to empty it. I haven't used this yet, so it's probably going to require a little bit of setup from me. I feel like that's way too high of pressure. That's a lot that I'm just spraying on this cabinet right now. I think I like that.
It's the next day. Everything cured up beautifully, you guys. This is the best paint work I've ever done. It's actually tomorrow evening because I had to go drop off the door hinges for the doors. I got these Cerakoted. I was gonna do powder coat, but to be honest, powder coat's going to clog the hinge and it's just gonna flake off anyways. So I had those Cerakoted black so that, cause they were rusty, they were nasty, but these doors and the door sills look so freaking good. I need to get these hinges mounted up on the doors and seam seal them, let them sit overnight, and then tomorrow we can actually mount these things up on the car. And we're gonna be so far ahead, man. You have no idea. Now, before I show you guys what we painted, I wanna show you guys this. This is my old paint work. It's very orange peely, very inconsistent. It worked and it worked fine, but check this out. This is so many steps ahead for me painting, you guys. This is immaculate. There's minimal orange peel. There's still some orange peel, don't get me wrong, but there's minimal orange peel. There's not a lick of dry spray on this anywhere. There's not a single run on any part that we painted. These came out so freaking beautiful. They're dry now. I had them sitting under the heaters all night, which we're gonna let them sit under the heaters again tonight. We gotta bolt the door hinges here. They're there, seam seal around them, and then these can go on the car tomorrow. But dude, that is incredible. That is such an improvement in painting for me. If you guys look at the door seals, this is my first time blending paint too, and once I wet sand this spot here, once the door's on, you'll never see it anyways, but phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. You can't even tell that there's been a wide body that has been cut and welded onto this car. It's insane. Same thing with the other side over here. It just looks so freaking good. I am so stoked with this. Like, you can't tell me that that doesn't look factory. That just looks freaking factory. And then we did the inside of the trunk as well. So this we don't really have to do anything to. We can put the hinge on it, but there's not really a point in doing so right now. So with the doors, I've already got the latches put in here, the things to be able to open them on both doors. Got these strikers loosely mounted on here. I don't want to fully tighten them down until tomorrow for those. These ones we are going to fully tighten down just because we have to seam seal them. But let's get our brackets mounted up on here, get these things seam sealed. So with the hinges, you're gonna see one labeled 2B and one labeled 2A. 2A is gonna be the bottom, 2B is gonna be the top. So when we go to install this, there's our two door hinges, because they'll bolt up like that. And then obviously the door opens and closes. Boom. Got it? Yep. Alright, they bolted down. Once I get the hinge and everything in, should be better, but that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Adjust just a little bit, but
That's easy. I mean, once I put the striker in, the striker and everything else, that is not freaking bad. So we have all of our doors mounted up, everything seams sealed. We are gonna have to play with gapping a little bit because you guys can see the door sticks out a little bit past the body, but when I push it in, it lines up. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to adjust the doors properly, but we've got the doors on, seam sealer curing. Inside of the doors are painted as well, and that just, dude, it looks so freaking good in there now. We do have the striker on this side. It was just mainly there just to test fit the door and everything, but I am loving it. With the doors on, you guys can actually really see how much wider the car is in comparison to a factory body car, and I am in love with that. That looks so freaking good. However, tons of progress on the RS. I had a goal in mind. Normally with these bodywork videos, I have a goal in mind of like, I don't want to upload this video until this is done. And for this video, it was, I wanted the doors, the inside of the doors painted and the doors on, so that way we could get through this. I'm gonna let this cure up for probably 2 more days before we jump back on this. And then we need to start prepping the quarter panel and the doors and the pillars up here, so that way we can paint the entire chassis again and get this car back to being World Rally Blue, but this time with doors. It's so nice seeing it. We are waiting on the Zet and Graz, same person who made these rear quarter panels. He made a set of steel front quarter or front fenders, also 22B style. So we are waiting on those to come in before we repaint the front fenders. The fiberglass ones that I have up there, we're not gonna use. If I don't have to use a fiberglass body part, I personally just don't want to. The fitment is meh at best, and it always takes a while to get things to fit perfectly, and then at the end of the day, you're still using a fiberglass part. So I'm not gonna stress it, but with that, that's all I got for you guys on this one. Sorry it took so long to get this video out. It's just like I said, in my mind, I don't want to upload these videos until we meet whatever the goal is that I'm trying to accomplish for that video. And in this case, it took a week to get this video out, but we have our doors, the inside's painted, looking beautiful, door jambs painted, doors reinstalled, door hinges on, holes in the doors welded shut. It has been so much work just to get these doors back on the car, but I am so hyped with it. So with that, that is all I've got for you guys on this one. If you like the video, you know what to do. If you're hyped with the 2.5 RS, also go and hit that like button. Turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, I'll put it in one of these corners. No idea which one quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.